Turner started blinding me. I ain't come here by myself, nigga, I got the squad with me. I stayed on the dick just like a whip, she started driving me. Shorty know I'm from the bottom, so she started.
Oh, Vegas was cool. Vegas was cool, man. We didn't, obviously didn't get to do a lot with everything going on, but just being out, first of all, being out of Ohio was dope. Got to see a lot of Tia's family. That's an every year thing. That was definitely dope. A lot of people had the mask on, which I was grateful for. That was dope. Won a little bit, did a little bit of damage on the tables. All in all, it was a cool little getaway for the last 4 or 5 days. So definitely dope. Glad to be back home though. It's something about being at the end of a trip or a vacation. It makes you like long to be back in the house for a minute. So like it's definitely cool to be back in my own shit. So y'all get done this weekend.
Man,
I didn't do a damn thing. Yeah.
Nothing.
I kicked it. I let your dog out 1,000,000 times. That's what I did this weekend.
Appreciate it.
It's all good, man.
Rocky, appreciate it.
I'm trying to bring the feel back to the Zoom, you know what I mean, with the hoodie. I don't have a White Claw, unfortunately.
You can just take the hoodie off, bro.
No, bro. I gotta bring the feel back. You know what I'm saying? Hoodie J right now. You know what I mean? I gotta bring the feel back to the Zoom.
Did it look like that though? Or Mike
like under Mifflin?
Yeah, I thought you was repping for Michael Scott and them.
Since I don't have the White Claw, you know what I mean? I figured I'd substitute with a little something else, you know what I mean? Got the hen dog.
Whoa,
he's clearly on trash.
You know what I mean? I had to bring it out, you know what I mean? Real nigga shit, you know?
What you want, fam? What's good with you? What you got lined up after the pod?
I wanted the White Claw. I feel like that's Thor's hammer for me, you know what I mean? But,
so it's like, out of White Claws, might as well get a pint of Hennessy.
So that's
your Thor hammer. I didn't get this pint of Hennessy. My brother did, but whatever. Semantics.
Oh,
now you thieving too.
His brother handed him a Henny, like
it's
Captain
recess.
America handed off the shield.
That's crazy. It's recess. Back of the bus squad. Back at it again with your homeboy DJ Reams, dope.
Yep.
Marcus Too Raw.
Yo.
And as always, Josh, aka JTG. Starting off on a sad note with the main topics. We would be remiss if we didn't say RIP to John Lewis. If you are not aware of who Congressman John Lewis is, he was the last remaining survivor of the March on Washington speeches, major pillar of the civil rights movement. He was there for Bloody Sunday all the way to Obama's inauguration and the bullshit with Trump. Like, he's been there through it all. Thoughts?
R.I.P. John Lewis. Yeah.
Thank you.
Powerful leader, advocate, pillar in our community. Definitely shout out to John Lewis. One of the bigger things I know that he was noted for was the Voting Act, 1964.
Yeah.
1964. So a lot of times we like to get into rest in peace and you'll be remembered forever and we don't usually follow that up in action. Great way to honor John Lewis in this instance would be to continue not only to exercise your right to vote, but to push to continue to protect people's right to vote. You see everything from expression to redistricting, to gerrymandering, all those different kinds of things that they try to do to suppress your vote.
Yeah.
So fighting against that is definitely a part of John Lewis's legacy. I think is a good way to honor him. So get out there and vote, protect your right to vote. And
I agree with that. What I'm interested in seeing is, he kind of made a name for himself in the civil rights era, obviously. I'm interested to see, because we're still kind of fighting for civil rights now, who's going to be the leaders who step up now and kind of move into those spots and kind of become those leaders that we obviously need. So
yeah, it's a tough role. It's a tough role to fill.
Big.
It sometimes requires you to work against your political interest, and you don't usually see that too much, in today's politics. So tough seat to fill, but you're right. It will be interesting to see who does kind of
steps up,
bridge that void. Yeah. No, I don't want to talk about his politics too much because that's not really the subject at hand. I would just say that look towards, I guess, a younger generation of politicians for that type of role. Most of your older, established congressmen or senators don't take that risk. They don't take those leaps of faith like that. So
they almost don't have to.
It just doesn't.
Most people don't have to be in the field for that.
Yep. Look for a younger generation of politician for that type of, I guess for lack of a better term, social justice.
That's what I'm interested to see.
Yeah. This is just not something that you get out of your older established either Democrats or Republicans. But John Lewis had a resume, had a reputation that had long surpassed any recent disagreements that you would have with him politically. He put in his work. So I guess we just kind of leave it at that. But definitely keep your eyes peeled for, the next up and comers, the next John Lewis, stuff like that. So
for sure. Rest in peace.
Right.
Moving on to our next topic, a heavy topic in the culture this week, Tory and Meg Thee Stallion. So it started off, I think, last Sunday.
Lewis, the Tory and Meg.
Say what? Yeah, that is crazy.
From John Lewis to Tory and Meg.
That's balance.
I don't know
right
how,
there,
but we had to make it happen somehow.
Call that balance.
We could have transitioned into Kanye if we wanted to.
Nah, we gotta save the smoke for Ye.
Exactly.
We gotta save the smoke for Ye because everybody got something to say about that fuck ass nigga.
It started off with Sunday, I believe. Tory or Meg, one of them posted a video with each other and Kylie. They were all in a pool, I believe, and it just seemed like, regular shit. They was probably at some party or whatever. Then you start hearing Tory Lanez gets arrested with a gun. You think, he might have been defending Meg's honor in some kind of situation. You hear there was shots fired. Then
she stepped on glass.
Yeah. And then you start hearing some strange shit.
Mm-hmm. It was first it was a cut on her foot, then it turned to a gunshot, then it turned into somebody intentionally shot me, and then now here's Tory Lanez federal gun charge. Yep.
Daystar, man, you stupid.
Do we really think that Tory did this intentionally?
I think they got drunk. They was driving the boat. Tory shot his shot. Meg was like, "You're not tall enough for this ride." He said,
"That is crazy."
He said, "Give me one more short joke. Try me. Say one more short joke. I dare you. Double dog dare you."
And since she's a savage,
let the nigga have it. She shot him in the fucking foot.
Nah,
that's
man.
crazy.
Kylie Jenner hopped out and took an Uber all the way home.
That's wild. Listen.
Kylie took an Uber to the crib?
I think
whatever
Kylie
happened is her fault.
She was there. I know.
Bro,
she was there when this shit happened. She was definitely there. And then she been taking fucking pictures and shit all weekend like ain't nothing going on. Like, nothing to see here.
She took a picture of her legs. She took a picture of her legs, son.
She took a picture of her foot.
Of her foot.
Yeah.
That's funny as shit.
Man.
So all jokes aside, Tory has been having an amazing 2020. Like, album was fire. The Tory Lanez Live. Like, Tory's been running 2020. And to just all of a sudden shoot Meg in her foot, do we really think that he just kind of gave it up like that?
Or maybe he was fucking around with it. But she didn't name him specifically, though. She said whoever it was who shot her did it intentionally. That was the one point in her statement that stood out to me because she said it was intentional.
She also said that black women aren't protected.
She did.
She gave that verbiage that they ain't protected, so that means either Tory was the attacker or he let some niggas catch her slipping.
You know what I think? I think somebody cheddar bobbed the situation. I think maybe somehow the gun was brought out for whatever reason, and somebody accidentally shot her in the foot, whether it was herself or him. Somebody accidentally shot her in the foot. Nobody wants to admit it because it's kind of embarrassing. And so they're just trying to go with this story and trying to let things play out because the real story is embarrassing as fuck.
It's so much of a better story to say that she kept telling short jokes to Tory Lanez and he got pissed off.
It is way better story. That's a way better story.
Sick. That's some sick ass shit.
That's a way better story. It is legit.
What you gonna do, little man? What you gonna do? Call me little man again. Call me little man again.
I know y'all seen Harlem Nights.
As a nigga who's under 6 foot,
like Harlem Nights.
I feel for Tory. I feel for Tory in that. I'm not as short as that nigga, but I feel.
Meg the Stallion is 5'10", so she about as tall as me.
Yeah.
Tory Lanez is 5'3".
Could you imagine if he shot his shot and that shit really happened? Because you let Moneybagg Yo get the cheeks. Like Tory can't get the cheeks.
Nope.
He shot his shot.
The nigga who's running 2020.
He shot his shot. He shot his shot. They've been kicking it all quarantine, fam. So I'm pretty sure he done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. And it probably just was a debate. He's like, oh nah, you ain't about to disrespect.
Nah, but you know what though, Meg is that type of chick. Like she flirts just to flirt.
Flirts.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Like didn't nobody legitimately think that she was fucking with what's dude G-Eazy. Nobody legitimately thought that she was fucking dude.
Gerald.
Yeah, no, she let G-Eazy smack.
So Tory she probably was playing around with Tory. Tory was like, all right, man, let's quit playing. Like, what's up? And she was like, no, nigga, you have to be at least this tall. And
now that is fair because G-Eazy is one lanky ass nigga. He like 6'5" or some shit.
But that gives you the right to shoot somebody for being turned down?
She told him to go get his step ladder. He said, fuck it. Pow!
Get his step ladder.
She started screaming and got him. He's like, you my height now, bitch.
Right. Let me take you down to size a bit. Pow!
That's crazy. So y'all saying he got short man syndrome? He got Napoleon complex?
Every nigga that's 5 foot something got short man syndrome.
That's not true. I'm not gonna let you slander 5 foot people. That's not cool, bro.
A grown ass man that's under 5'5" is highly likely to have that short man syndrome. The further
shortly likely, but I get it.
Tall, that's when all that oh yeah, I gotta be tougher than tough. That's where that shit comes from.
Yeah, that's where it is, bro. I'm 5'8", but I'll beat a 6 foot nigga till he's 6 foot under. What up? What up? Start talking like academics on this.
But see, 5'8" ain't 5'3". 5'3" is like, nigga, you've been doing this your whole fucking life.
Yeah,
his neck hurt. Yeah,
your whole fucking life.
5'3" is wild. That's a whole nother level. Literally.
Like if you got a girl that's shorter than you like that's a little person. That's like the mini me.
Facts. On to the next topic. Nick Cannon had some very choice words, controversial words to say this week that got him fired from MTV. Not that I watch MTV or VH1 or any of that bullshit anymore, so I don't care about that. But thoughts on his, I guess they want to call it racist or just prejudice words.
Only way that they can act is evil. The only way they have to rob, steal, rape, kill, and
fight or flight, okay,
in order to survive.
Exactly.
So then these people who didn't have what we had, and when I say we, I speak of the melanated people.
Right.
They had to be savages.
Selective outrage is bullshit. Because somebody can be on their platform, make those same shady, terrible remarks about black people, and there'll be no backlash, no uproar, nobody's losing their job, nobody's batting the eye, nobody's winking, getting offended at all if it was niggas they was talking about. But as soon as an educated brother with a clean record, as we know on paper, has a clean streak, nigga, since he was a kid running Nickelodeon and Viacom, we're like, all right, bet. We gonna get this Poindexter nigga and we gonna make a fucking example out of him. Because this is a nigga who ain't been doing nothing, so we gonna fuck his shit up. If it was a controversial nigga, it would be too easy. So, because it's Nick, they gotta make the example out of that homeboy.
Yeah.
So let's go through some of the shit that he said on there, right? So he had on, forgot the guy's name, guy from Public Enemy.
It was his podcast, Professor Griff.
Professor Griff. Yep.
Right. So he had on Griff. Griff was telling his story about how he was dealt with in the music industry or whatever, how he felt he was treated because of certain views that he had. Nick goes on to elaborate a little bit further into those certain views about how, you know, the descendants of the Caucasus Mountains have led to, you know, different rapes and pillages and savagery across the world, which I understand. And I think the key part of where he might have fucked up is calling them savages. But what he was talking about, part of it is verified facts. Like I don't think it's out of the realm or too offensive to say that the descendants from the Caucasus Mountains have been pillaging and savaging this entire earth since the beginning of time, essentially, since the beginning of man. I don't think that's too far off from being a verifiable fact. Now, where he got into some gray areas is where he started labeling all of them as savages and inherently evil and stuff like that. Lesser than and all that other stuff. Again, I'm gonna throw you some bail on the whole conversation about who the real Semitic people are. That's what really I think that's the part that offended them the most. Was the quote unquote unsemitic or anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic remarks that he made. So I'm just confused on why now, you have people like Jordan Peterson or Sean Harris. They'll go and they'll sit up in front of college campuses and tell people that, there's a difference in IQ amongst the races, right? It's an inherent thing. We can talk eugenics, which is the whole idea of a superior race. These are all accepted
viewpoints.
What do you call it? Like
beliefs.
They're educational theories. They can be taught, right? They can be discussed. You can disagree with them. You can express your displeasure for those people who hold those views, but they're allowed to say them. But then here is Nick Cannon on a platform that has nothing to do with Viacom whatsoever. It's not CBS. It's not BET. It's not VH1. It's not MTV.
It's his own platform.
That theory of what he believes his interpretation of the Bible to be, who he believes the Semitic people to be, right? Then that's what gets him fired. If you wanted him to apologize for calling people savages, which I believe he's already done, then do that. But what they asked for was a blanket apology for everything he said, and everything he said, number one, he didn't say it on your platform. Number two, some of it is verifiable. Number three, the rest of it was shit that he believes. It's his belief.
Right.
You know what I mean?
His platform.
On his platform, on YouTube, on a podcast.
On his day off. On his own time.
On his day off.
On his day off. Fuck.
And can we also talk about the hypocrisy of Viacom as a network peddling and black filth and black despair on everything from Love and Hip Hop to playing Baby Boy 3,000 times on MT or on BET or Black Ink Crew or any of those reality TV shows where they revel in the misfortunes of black people for entertainment, right? Mm-hmm. That is the company who's standing on the moral high ground calling Nick Cannon anti-Semitic. Like that's some real hypocrisy there. When a network who has literally made billions off of perpetuating stereotypes about black people, black and Latino people, shit, Black, Latino, Italian, if you want to count the fucking Jersey Shore. They've literally made a fortune off of perpetuating stereotypes of cultural minorities. And yet they're standing on a hill saying that the shit that Nick Cannon said off of their platform was over the line. That's hypocrisy for sure.
Yeah. Couldn't say it better myself.
Like
That's
I
true.
said,
I never even thought about it from that angle.
yeah, it's weird that they're the ones that are taking this stance. So then I should expect Love and Hip Hop to be off the air very soon.
No.
I should expect all of those.
That's
Oh no,
funny.
the reruns,
VH1.
the marathon will start, nigga. The marathon will start now that Wild 'N Out is out.
Now, Wild 'N Out, I'm sure since he didn't actually own the rights to the show, he'll probably have to do something else on the lines of like a new
Probably
skit
make
show.
a great value version of Wild 'N Out.
Yeah,
I think
something
he's
like
trying to
that.
buy the rights to it though.
Even
Yeah.
if he does that, I think where they might be in for a little bit of fight though is all of the actors that Nick brought to there. Is loyal to Viacom, Hitman, Clips, all of the battle rapper niggas, all of the Instagram niggas,
the 85 South niggas.
Simone, 85 South, DC Young Fly, all of them. Like they're
Chico.
not loyal to Viacom. Viacom didn't give them their shot. Nick Cannon gave them their shot. So
Right.
you telling me if Nick was to go to Fuse or some shit like that and was like, yeah, the hell with Viacom, I'm gonna do my own thing over here and bring all those actors and all that talent with him, Wild 'N Out's gonna die. They might as well just cancel it.
True.
Might as well cancel it. First of all, I don't think
Or-
anybody can Wild 'N Out without Nick Cannon.
Or they can get Rob Dyrdek to host it.
Fuck no. Get out.
Shout out to the Lima, Ohio native, but Rob Dyrdek's not Nick Cannon in that regard.
Rob Dyrdek's still a real nigga though.
He cool. He's a real
Real one.
Okay.
My fault. Real one.
I was about to say, we ain't handing
Sure,
out
love
them
you,
cards
my
right
nigga.
now. Them cards have gotten revoked. We ain't got no more visit passes. Not even for Rob Dyrdek.
Fair enough. Speaking of celebrities saying outlandish, controversial shit, Kanye West.
Well, Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Thoughts?
Kanye.
Give us some background, bro. Give the people.
I don't know what the event specifically was. I just know specifically that he said Harriet Tubman didn't actually help free slaves.
So this was a campaign rally in South Carolina. Even though I felt like last week he announced that he had dropped the race.
Yeah. I heard the same thing.
Listen, y'all. Like, I've been a Kanye West fan since I was like 11 years old, 12 years old. Favorite recording artist of all time. I have been an apologist for Kanye West. I've been a bit of an enabler. I have kind of handled him with kid gloves where I wouldn't when it applies to other celebrities. I've reached a boiling point with Kanye.
As you should. By this point, there's a
Yeah.
lot of
Nigga,
points
Marcus
that could have
is
been boiling
disappointed.
points.
I'm beyond disappointed. I was disappointed at the MAGA shit. Like I was disappointed then. And that was like 2 years ago. This shit is just, it's sad. It's sad. And I don't think this is part of an album rollout. I don't think that this is something like, I mean, obviously he's getting ready to drop an album, but I don't think that's what this is. I don't think that this is him drumming up publicity for.
Arguably doesn't need to do anything before an album. He doesn't need to do a rollout
he
at
doesn't
all.
need to do anything.
He's on a Beyonce level to where he can just drop an album right out of the blue.
I think
would
he's
think.
sick. I think there's
He's
something
mentally
wrong with that
fucked
man's
up.
mind. Yeah. I think there's really something wrong with that man's mind. Quick spin-off from Kanye here for a second and talk directly to all the Kanye West guys and all that other stuff. People who revel at this man's misfortunes, much like we was just talking about with the what's it call it, the Love and Hip Hop shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that we sit up here and we talk all this mental health shit, right? We've been talking that for like the last 2-3 years. Behind the back of Charlemagne the God and Joe Budden and all these guys, right? Not to say that they're, against what I'm about to say, but just, that's been the wave, right? Mental health. Now everybody's recognizing that we have, as a community, we have internalized PTSD. We have our own family dramas that we've gone up with. Like, everybody has or something. And we know Kanye West has had a lifetime of drama, lifetime of trauma. I think it's real nasty for people to look at the erratic behavior of an individual and automatically jump on the, oh, here you go cooning again. You know what I mean? Here he goes being an Uncle Tom and stuff like that. Like, this is what mental illness looks like. And if someone that you don't like displays signs of mental illness, and your first reaction is to just treat them as any old idiot on the street, well, then you're not really upholding what you're at.
Calling him out for cooning, is it also not dangerous, the fact that the media shoves a mic and a camera in his face anytime he has some let's just say manic shit to say?
I feel like it's irresponsible.
It's a bit irresponsible, but I don't think it's okay. It may be on the media to act responsibly in that nature, but we also know at the same time that that's not the reality, right? They would do that to Kanye the same way they would do it to fucking Justin Bieber. They may not cover it the same way. They may not cover it the same way. They may be a little bit sympathetic to Justin, but they're gonna cover it either way. Anytime you see a celebrity doing something crazy, they're going to cover it.
All right, I got one though.
Go ahead.
The counter to that, though, is you have all of this money. Why don't you or your people, your family who keep saying they're worried about you, pay to get you help?
Because I think the people who are closest to him in that regard are profiting from him. They're profiting off all this nonsense. Like, come on, man, this is the same family that drove their father, a one-time Olympic champion, to changing his sex after being married for like 25 years. So like, this is a family that like revels in. They had their teenage daughters get plastic surgery. Their one-time teenage daughter created a sex tape to launch her entire career. This is a family that feeds off of that type of shit, man. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and totally absolve Kanye West. The grown-ass man, if he knows something is wrong with him, which I believe he does, then he should separate himself from all of that shit and go get some fucking help.
If he chooses
I don't think
to.
It helps.
If he's in the right headspace to do so.
Around you. Yeah, I don't think it helps when everybody else around you is enabling it.
It's hyping you up to do that dumbass shit.
To do that dumb shit.
And for real, it hurts me because, like many other people coming up, nigga, I was a Kanye fan. I appreciate the music and the.
This was my guy. This was my guy.
Like you were the wallpaper on my laptop. Like I had your posters hung up, and to see you grow up, and you just become this.
He's a caricature of himself. He's a shell.
Are these things more noticeable because his music isn't hitting?
I don't think this has anything to do with music. I don't think it got shit to do with
I don't think it has anything to do, but I'm just saying, are the antics more noticeable because the music is also not?
No, but look though, he was doing this type of shit back when he was still hitting, back when he was still on top of the game. So when he came out and he told motherfuckers that Beyonce had the best video of all time and that Taylor didn't deserve that award, which she didn't.
We noticed it, but we didn't like treat it.
It wasn't that bad.
No, we noticed it, but he was saying things that we liked. When he got on TV during the Katrina relief commercial for MTV and told the whole entire nation that George W. Bush didn't give a fuck about black people, that was something that we wanted to hear. But we just excused it. When he got up there at the MTV Awards and interrupted Taylor Swift, we was all thinking that, so we accepted it. But now he's doing equally crazy things.
So can I flip that?
And not saying things that we like, and people calling him a coon. Well,
does the music not hit because of the bullshit antics now?
Honestly, since the antics have gotten like excessively worse, I've checked out. Haven't listened to anything.
But the last
anything
album
new.
that I can say I've enjoyed was Life of Pablo.
Same.
Yeah,
and that's when the antics went.
Still haven't listened to Ye or Kiss.
And I kind of like Ye, but I just don't listen to it that much because it's a whole bunch of bullshit surrounding him. He's radioactive.
Yeah,
the last album
is getting sad. Like he's imploding, and he's taking a historic career from a recording artist that anybody in that industry would love to have, and he's tarnishing it. And that's what's making it so bad, man. It's like, if you a Kanye fan, like, this shit is so fucking frustrating to watch him get up there and do this bullshit. Like you said, Harriet Tubman didn't really free the slaves. She went off and sold them to other white people. That's Candace Owens, bro. Like, that's Candace Owens. I don't know. That
Harriet
Tubman
like Candace Owens. He's a fan of Candace Owens.
It sounds like it's straight out of her fucking mouth. What else did he say? The whole shit about abortion. This nigga goes on a tangent for like 10 minutes about how his father was too busy to take care of him, and they almost aborted him, and then they almost aborted North, and then he got a sign from God that said, "Oh, you're going to mess up my vision, I'll mess up yours." So he called him and told him that they're gonna have the baby, only to come around and say that abortion should be legal at the end of all of that. Like, that is not an argument or a tangent from a sane person.
True.
Only to come around and say that abortion should be legal, but oh yeah, let's give $1 million to everybody who births a child or something like that. Like, it was incoherent. If that was supposed to be some sort of well thought out policy, anyone legitimately running for president would have had a speechwriter write that shit out for them. Like, okay, let's say you're Kim and you're just being a supportive wife and you're down with Kanye regardless of what he says he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me that you watched that nigga prepare for that fucking rally and you didn't have no pointers. You didn't have nothing to fucking say. You didn't have any insight into the long random ass speech about your potential abortion and the potential abortion of your mother and father and whatever, or something like that. The program, give $1 million to whoever has a fucking baby. None of that shit seemed disorganized to you. This entire thing didn't sound disorganized to you. That's what I'm saying. They revel in this shit because then they get to go off and they get to talk about it on their show. And when he goes into rehab, it'll be a whole nother saga that they'll be able to monetize on for another 5 years. And it'll just be another whole thing that they can make money off of. And it's sick. It's sick.
Agreed. It's the spectacle of it. It's just like the 6ix9ine shit. It's just like, so many other stories that we're all completely entertained by, but we don't really take seriously the ramifications of it.
Sickening.
Moving on to some happier news. It was just announced last week that the new versus battle is going to be DMX versus Snoop Dogg. Since we're releasing this on Wednesday and it's coming out Wednesday, it's only right we give our predictions. What y'all got?
I got Snoop.
I got Snoop too.
Yeah. As much as I want to have my New York bias, Snoop just has way more of a catalog.
It is worth for in the game. We can't say that about DMX. DMX definitely held the game down for a period of time.
But the thing is, can you even limit Snoop Dogg to 20 songs? Like, man's got hits. Lot of hits.
That argument that we was having last week about Gucci Mane and 50.
Longevity.
Like, if you had to limit it down to 20
real,
songs,
like, it's what, 30 years of hits? 30 years of hits, damn near.
That's the interesting thing about these versus battles is because catalog for catalog is a different scenario as opposed to best 20 versus best 20. Yeah. It's a completely different ball game.
Yeah. But I think Snoop can damn near come with any 20, and it's rivaling anybody. It's damn near beating anybody. Besides maybe Hove. I think that's the only person I could think of that could beat Snoop easily.
20 for 20.
Missy could beat that nigga.
Who?
Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott.
Can Missy really beat Snoop?
Nah, Missy Elliott. I think Missy Elliott could get there. Fuck.
I don't know too many people that's giving.
I would have said Busta Rhymes, but Busta Rhymes joints don't hit the way Snoop joints hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Busta got at least. Yeah, Busta got a few. Busta been around for a while.
Snoop Dogg, though. He not a
They don't hit the same. And I love Busta.
They're not going to be. They're going to be on a different level. He got 20, but I just don't think, like you said, it's going to hit like Snoop. Damn, Snoop is a legend, bro. We already knew that though.
Yeah, so as a squad, we all going with Snoop.
Yeah. This might be the first time we all agree to it.
I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this battle, just like I did with Jada and Fab. So, shout out to DMX for providing entertainment.
Uncle Earl.
You got it.
DMX gonna come out the gate and whoop niggas' ass now that everybody done took Snoop. Watch. This is the same thing that happened with Jada and Fab.
Say what?
It's literally what happened with Jada and Fab. We all took Fab. Oh, well, no. I think Reem
Pete and Reem took Kiss.
Took Kiss. Well, okay, we'll see.
Even though Fab won.
See how Snoop Dogg could lose.
And let the record be clear. I still love DMX. That, like I said, that's Uncle Earl right here. But
it's the monster.
There's
not a lot of people that can beat X. Snoop is just one of them niggas.
Damn.
He is one of the guys.
Listen, man, it's gonna be close though. It's not gonna be a landslide. It's gonna be close.
Because it's only 20 songs, it'll be close.
He's gonna leave him a couple decades.
It was
He's gonna leave
just
him back on
whole discography. X is getting washed. But
I agreed.
X gonna give it to you.
Huh?
X gonna give it to you. I was just saying that.
X is definitely gonna give it to you. Though.
Give it to you. He gonna give it to you. X gonna
W's and L's. Let's get it.
What's he gonna pop? We gonna pop?
Who got it?
I'll go mine is short.
Singing X. Who got it?
I got it. I'm gonna start by giving a nice W to this young man who sold N-word passes to his white friends for $1,000. Shout out to you, young man.
No, we not shouting out that nigga.
That out nigga passes. What does that come with? What kind of what does that give you?
Just to say nigga right there. Give me $1,000. You could say nigga.
$1,000. Okay, maybe we can shout him out.
Did that require him to protect them white boys from anybody who was just walking around and heard it?
I want to say it was a situation where they might have been chilling and rapping a song or just saying it in the sentence. All I know is the little nigga was getting broke off.
Did he get paid $1,000 for each pass?
Yes, because his mom was pissed.
How many passes did he sell?
You know, I'm not sure how many my nigga sold, but he sold enough to get some attention from his moms.
Son, okay, how old is he? How old was he?
Had to be like an elementary school little nigga.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let him slide. I'm gonna let him slide.
Damn, that's what I'm saying. Like,
where did them kids get $1,000 from?
Where else do white kids at that age get their money from?
40 million people unemployed, and your kid going to school buying nigga passes. What the fuck is going on? What is going on?
I mean, if he made a few stacks off of that in elementary school, I'm gonna let him slide. I'm letting him slide. Fucked up,
y'all. We not condoning this at all.
I'm condoning his entrepreneurial spirit.
Hey, I told you.
It may be a little misguided.
Them passes have been revoked. So now if he finessed
that's what I'm saying. It's one-time use. Listen, get
But
your
he gets to
money
keep
up,
the
not
bread.
your money up. Oh,
All sales final. No refunds. Get your hustle on,
We
kids.
at the Black delegation do not honor those tickets, and all sales are
That's
now
fine.
refunded. So you just lost your
All
cash.
sales final. You just lost your break. Just like that girl in that video we talked about last week.
Oh, the
lost her
3 Monty
55.
girl. Yeah.
So, hey, I'm with the scam.
stupid ass. Another
Fool
chick
me.
got like that.
Shout out to the young
Um,
homie, whoever that is.
And then my other L, which I was supposed to give them an L last week, was Atlanta. Specifically, the mayor or the governor, whoever this lady is. I forget your actual name.
Bottoms?
I apologize.
Keisha Bottoms.
Yes, Miss Bottoms.
Sound like
Love
some
you,
shit.
boo.
Keisha Bottoms.
Keisha Bottoms. Shout out Keisha Bottoms.
I'm gonna get my girl to Keisha Bottoms.
We don't
But-
wear red bottoms, but we wear Keisha Bottoms.
But I got to give her an L though. She did not take Corona serious until her and her family got it, and that's when she decided to implement a fucking curfew and all this other stuff after she got it. Nigga, your city was a circus. Niggas were out there swimming in the club. They made a pool in the club.
Niggas be doing some nigga shit.
Niggas were out. Waffle Housing it up.
Niggas be doing
All
some
Star
nigga
special.
Do it.
Got the bitches at the crib in it.
Can we let that go at some point? Can we just
I'm
drop
sorry.
that?
We don't need you hoes. We got hoes back at the crib.
We got a whole at the crib.
We don't need you hoes. We got hoes back at the crib.
My
Love
phone's
you, my
about
nigga.
to die, man. My phone's
Love you,
about
my
to die.
nigga.
We gotta keep
Love you,
moving.
my nigga.
I don't fuck with y'all.
That's a
I don't fuck with y'all.
Fail of the century.
Just for that, I'm going next. Fuck y'all.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me get into my L's first. So, rapper T-Pain decided to. I didn't know he was a Twitch streamer, by the way. But
that seems like some T-Pain shit to me.
you know, he was on this stream and he was telling a story about how he was in the studio with another famous rapper whose music we all enjoy. And he was producing some shit. He was, in the studio feeling the vibes. The other famous rapper was with him. He had his homeboys in the back. They might have been drinking, smoking, doing whatever they do. And so T-Pain's like, oh yeah, I'm about to do some of this and some of that. See if, how that sounds. He turns around. Said famous rapper was asleep. Like while the music was playing, all that shit. Just fell asleep. So Travis Scott, you a fuck nigga for that. T-Pain is a national treasure.
Wait,
T-Pain is a national treasure.
He said it was Travis Scott?
It was Travis Scott.
Sicko Mode. It was right before Sicko Mode had
It was
dropped.
Mr. Sicko Mode himself, Travis Scott. Like, don't you ever fall asleep on the
T-Pain?
father of auto-tune. You an auto-tune nigga. You should not
you
be out here falling
wouldn't
asleep
even
on
be
T-Pain.
who you are without T-Pain. That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So Travis Scott has to get an L for that. And he has to answer for it. He has to answer for it. He ain't even mentioned it or nothing. So
Deplorable.
T-Pain is a national treasure. Protect T-Pain at all costs. So is
Respect
Martin,
T-Pain.
by the way.
Versus T-Pain versus Travis Scott? Best 20?
That's a good battle.
That's a good ass battle.
That's a good battle. T-Pain is winning it for me. T-Pain bias for me. I'm a huge T-Pain fan, so I mean, I get it. Travis Scott could win, but I'm just saying, like,
he could.
Bias. My next L goes to another famous rapper who, at this point, I don't really fuck with. Logic. Logic decided to tell everybody. Let me start off with this way. Logic is coming out with a new album, and for his reboot, he decided to do the classic "I'm retiring after this album." Like that's what we're doing now. Like, are we still doing fake retirements for the album? Jay-Z.
What if he about to legit retire?
Huh?
What if you legit about to retire though? Like that ass.
Then go. Like I don't need the announcement. My name. Just go. Just get out. Go.
Pack it the fuck up.
I ain't been checking for Logic in so long. Like, it'd be something if he was still at the peak of his game. He ain't been at the peak in 3 albums. So
I don't even use Logic, nigga. Fuck out of here.
I don't even use Logic.
FL Studio, nigga. Fruity Loops out here, nigga.
Garage band, bitch.
Now on to my W's. A huge dub to YB and Cordae. So a lot of different people. I think there was an NFL player who got arrested. A lot of people got arrested for doing protest.
Yeah.
Kenny Stills.
Kenny Stills. Yep.
Yandy Luka.
So YB and Cordae
King
was amongst them. So dub to Kenny Stills as well. But dub to those people who are still out there fighting to get the cops who killed Breonna Taylor arrested by protesting and doing what they can, utilizing their platform and things of that nature. Big dub to Kenny Stills, big dub to YB and Cordae for that. Arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. Speaking of the NFL, big dub to Myles Garrett.
Got paid.
Dub.
Got paid.
5-year, $125 million dub. Shout out to Myles Garrett.
With $100 million guaranteed.
Like,
with $100 million guaranteed.
You mean to tell me during a football game you can hit a white man on the head with his own helmet and then get paid 5 years, $125 million? That's a dub. That's a dub. That's a dub. That's a dub.
That's how the fuck you come back.
That is absolutely how you come back.
That's how you come back with a bag, pussy. What you thought this was, nigga?
And I'm back. And you got to play me again next year. What's up?
Twice. What up?
Right.
Damn. I was going to give a W, but I don't even know if it's a W for real. But if you've been looking at Twitter lately, within the last couple weeks or so, what's the deal with everything being a cake? Has anybody seen that?
Yo.
Yeah.
Like shoes being cakes?
People being cakes, animals being cakes.
Dorito bags.
Why are we doing this? Why is this?
It's a distraction, fam. Just like the Glizzy situation. It's a distraction. It's a tactic.
The Glizzy situation was lit, though.
Listen.
I thought that was a fun joke that everybody was in on. You know what I mean? The cake thing is just freaking me out at this point. I don't know if every time I see a video, a knife is going to come out of nowhere and cut into a cake at this point. Like, this podcast might be a cake for all I know.
Might be a cake.
You know what I mean?
I
don't know what's going
on. Vanilla.
My last topic. I don't know if y'all saw Migos is going through some issues with their label QC. They aren't the first people who've had issues with QC. I know Skipper the Flipper and I think another artist has some issues with getting paid from QC, and it's not looking good over there. Y'all got any thoughts about that at all?
Some bad contracts going out. It's unfortunate. What's funny about it is not how they losing money, but I didn't know until recently Skipper the Flipper is cousins with Quavo or all of them or something like that.
All them niggas are cousins, uncles, and
cousins, uncles, whatever.
But yeah.
And they cussed that nigga out. They cussed that nigga out and shunned him. And turn around 6 months later, y'all got the same issue he had for not being compensated. Like, niggas is getting bad deals. It sucks to suck, my nigga, but.
Facts.
Yeah.
Do we think Lil Baby is also in a bad contract with QC?
It's quite possible. It's quite possible.
Hell yeah.
Remember, we talked about quite a few times how it looked like Lil Baby was clearly the star, the up-and-coming star out of the newer talent that they had, and yet they were forced gunning down our fucking throats. Like, bro, we're cool. We don't want that. Give me the number one. Number two is still there. I don't want that. But not to say that has anything to do with their contract situation, but on top of all of that, on top of what we hear about that happened with Skipper the Flipper, now the Migos, it's all kind of lining up to be some weird shit. I don't know. So here's the real question. Could they potentially, let's say this goes into arbitration, it's an ugly breakup, Migos somehow ends up getting out of their deal and going elsewhere. Is QC affected by that? Are they derailed by the fact that Migos is no longer on the label?
No, because I think what Lil Baby got going on would be enough to keep them popular.
City
But if they
Girls
lose,
still got Yachty.
City Girls is there. Yachty's still there. Gunna's still there, right? Isn't Gunna signed with them or no?
Yeah.
Gunna's still there.
Gunna's actually signed by YSL, I think. He's with
So he's with Thug. He's with
Young
Thug.
Thug. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I thought
And
Gunna
think
was
about it.
QC.
Shoot, QC loses the Migos. They lose Cardi too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. Big time.
Facts. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I feel like Migos and Cardi are the more established base of their, and Yachty is the more established base, and then they got the young wave, which is Lil Baby.
where's Yachty been in the last 3 years? 2 years.
You don't talk about him; he doesn't come out. We
Fair enough.
we don't need no
Fair
Yachty.
enough. Can I say something about him though?
Go ahead.
I don't know how and I don't know why his vlogs came up suggested on my YouTube a couple weeks ago.
What you be on?
I'm a little disturbed because I've never searched a Lil Yachty nothing. So I don't know if like the nephew got into like the login.
Your nephew
Lil
fucking Yachty
shit.
like that? Yikes.
Listen, man, them little niggas surprise me every day.
It is what it
You
is. That's
two
all
know
I
you
got.
better than we do, bro. So it's something you're not telling us. It's cool. We gonna figure it out.
I had some Swedish fish and that's what happened.
Hell no. It's on you, Marcus.
All right. So first up with Dubs, I got one going out to Last Chance U. Is the football documentary on Netflix that details life at JUCO programs, JUCO football programs around the country. Some of the best watches on Netflix, to be honest with you. Last Chance U. This is actually their 5th and final season, so I guess a bit of a send-off dub for them on that one. A lot of different quarterbacks are showing up on there. Justin Fields, Tate Martell, Jake Fromm. Who was the most recent guy? Spencer Rattler. A lot of big name college prospects that came through that show. It gives you a real in-depth look at. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Hold on, wait, I'm confusing QB1 and Last Chance U. My fault. Last Chance U is the junior college programs. So that gives you to look into the actual process of maybe not having the academic eligibility, and then having to go the junior college route again back in. Maybe you get hurt, arrested, some kind of misfortune that leads you to not be eligible for D1. I'm actually a little bit disappointed that they're canceling it, but they're going to be following up, I think, in the fall with the basketball JUCO version of last year.
Shit. Okay.
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah. Dubs to them for that one.
You know what else is in its final season?
What's
Ozark.
Has that been confirmed?
The next season is going to be the final season from what I saw.
Yeah.
I guess I'm okay with that because they didn't really have too much further to go in that story before it starts getting unrealistic.
Yeah.
Before Marty just becomes like a fucking drug kingpin or some shit.
Basically.
Yeah, they didn't have too much further to go, I don't think. So that kind of makes sense. That makes sense. What was it? This was season 3, right? The last one?
Yeah, I think season 4 is the final season. So yeah, I think that's right.
Last one.
Power books are coming out.
I don't know when it's coming out.
The fall.
When the Rona's over.
When the Rona's over.
Yeah.
I'd rather them do it like
thing,
this and stop short while it's still good than drag it out and mess up the ending like they did with countless other
Weeds.
TV show. Weeds, Game of Thrones, The Office. Just,
Weeds was like the biggest one for me. Like when they I ain't gonna get no spoilers, but yeah, that was the biggest one.
If you ain't seen Weeds, it damn near been a decade. Shame on you.
Yeah, it's been a long ass time. I'm
about to go back and watch Weeds.
It was like 2009?
Yeah, I think so. I'm about to go back and watch Weeds.
Same, yo. Weeds was the shit.
Weeds was good. Weeds was a good show.
Facts.
I want to give a shout out to Jeremy Grant from I believe he's still with Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
Jeremy Grant, he was on an interview with Complex Sports, and they were asking him about life at the bubble and everything that was going on with that. And before he got into his, his feelings about everything surrounding the NBA, he found time to mention some truly important issues, mainly like the one that we just brought up, that Breonna Taylor's murderers have still not been arrested or charged at all. So definitely a shout out for him, man, for keeping that at the forefront of his mind. I know a lot of players in the bubble have kind of shifted their focus back over to basketball, which, hey, it is what it is. Get how you live. You got to feed your family. I understand.
Right.
Some people just don't want to rock the boat. But I commend him for standing up and actually, continuing to push that, because we cannot forget about them. Can't forget about Elijah McClain. Can't forget about Breonna Taylor. We can't forget about none of these people. We can't allow it to become a thing, unfortunately, that is just left to the legal systems. Because if we stop talking about it, they stop caring, and it'll just go away, just like everything else.
Facts.
Shout out to Grant. I want to give out one last dub to our friends over at People's Platform.
Yes. Congratulations.
Having a beautiful baby girl. Congratulations to y'all. I missed the gender review, but
that man was sick. He was sick.
He was a little sick. He was a little sick.
The way that man dropped to that knee.
But that's
right.
That's all, man. I love them both. Beautiful couple.
Let's have them back on, man. Let's interview them.
We should have him back.
Shout out People's Platform.
Shout out People's Platform in the new edition there.
Facts.
L's. So I'm gonna give my first L to the infamous Mr. Aug, who at this point is borderline in Fatal Attraction. Like, this shit is getting real nasty. It's getting real nasty. Listen to you. It's an entanglement. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Where did you even get that shirt this quick?
It's facts. It's facts.
You a
so
sick
the reason
nigga,
why
man.
I'm giving him an L is because not a week after Will and Jada had their their Red Table Talk clearing everything up, this man comes out with a song featuring Rick Ross entitled none other than Entanglements.
Pump.
Like, I'm not even gonna get into the specifics of the the lyrics and all this stuff, the name drops, because
fire.
It fire all over.
Song's kind of heat. Even though Rick Ross taking shots at Will was kind of weird. Like, the whole verse was basically him taking shots at Will.
At Will, yeah.
Kind of weird, but whatever.
I don't understand. Well, so I guess it's kind of multi-layered. I think this shit is super weak. This is like real ass desperation shit. Like, it makes me believe that he has a chance of getting Jada Pinkett Smith back.
You think this is a chance for him to, you think the song was his shot to get her back?
I think that when you're craving attention from someone, you will do outlandish things. And this is an example of him trying to get Jada's attention. I think that Red Table Talk was their subtle way of dismissing all and moving on. And him putting out this song is another reach out for some attention from the person that clearly he still wants it from, and he's never going to have again. And at this point, he's making it worse.
We don't think this is a Ray J, I hit it first, capitalize off the shit, get some sales. We don't think he's trying to get sales. Like, I don't think it's a genuine thing at all, but I just think he's trying to get some money off of it, some streams off of it.
Because if that was the case, the damage is already done, bro. Like, you said something, you went on Angela Yee, they came out and spoke on it. Your album's been out for 2 weeks now. Like, I don't think this is. Plus, this song wasn't even on the album. If I'm not mistaken, this song was not on the album.
Be surprised if there's a deluxe version of his album that with this ends up. That's all
I mean, it kind of makes it even more sick if that's all it is. At least you can claim there's some emotion tied to it. Which, all of this shit that he's doing screams emotion. It screams like, I don't know how to handle this shit that's going on inside of me, so I'm gonna just keep lashing out. Is what it screams. But if it doesn't have anything to do with that, and it's just purely to make a buck, it makes it even more sick. It makes it even more sick.
Nasty work.
Yeah.
As a member of the Virgo delegation, I don't condone this, but get your bread, I guess.
Oh, that's condoning it. That's co-signing.
No, it's not condoning
That's
it.
co-signing.
Look.
God sent you. It's an entanglement.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, I don't condone this behavior at all. It's getting real nasty. I don't know why he just don't chill. Like, bro, you done already did your damage, bro. Like, we know about your album now, where we probably wouldn't have a month ago.
He will chill. He will chill when this is all done, over with.
No, it's done. No,
Done talking about it.
It's over
He gonna
with.
chill when Will rough him up.
We're kind of talking about it right now.
No, I'm saying for him, it's over. Like it's done. It's done for it, bro. It's never going to happen again. You made sure of that.
Oh yeah, them, they're done. They're done.
I was about to say, if there was ever a chance that y'all had something coming again, sometime in
you
the distant
definitely
future,
lost that
you
one, buddy.
lost all of that. You lost all of that. That's never happening again. Move on, brother. Move on.
Entanglements is the song of the summer. Calling it now.
That's a bit of a reach.
Last up now is to the Bernie Sanders Joe Biden task force. So last week they had a bunch of Bernie Sanders staffers create a coalition with the Biden campaign in an effort to try to sway over some of the more resistant progressive voters from the Sanders wing of the Democratic Party, or the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, I should say. Which I guess on its face is a good thing, right? You're trying to force Joe Biden left on some of these issues. So if getting some Sanders staffers in there to try to coax him, much like they did with Hillary Clinton on the issue of free college back in 2016, right? Yeah. So we're trying to use the leverage that Bernie has to try to persuade Joe Biden to come further left on some of these issues. And you would think because of that, that we would be, maybe hearing some changings of tune on some of these things that Joe Biden does or doesn't support. We didn't get anything. There's no Medicare for all coming down the pipe, or at least being fought for, even though we're in a global pandemic where people are literally losing their health insurance because they're no longer employed. We're not getting a new Green New Deal. We're not getting legalized marijuana, which is such an antiquated argument at this point. It's maddening why it's not legal on a federal level. We're literally going to be at
why black people aren't being freed for their crimes.
Right?
Marijuana.
Yeah. No restorative justice. I think we're going to end up at a point where all 50 states are going to have it legal and it still be scheduled as a Schedule I narcotic federally.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So knowing that, no on Green New Deal, no on Medicare for all. The one thing that they did get was no student loan forgiveness, something like that. We did get a $2 trillion climate change plan from Joe Biden, but again, it's not the Green New Deal. It doesn't involve, moving us over to renewable energy in a heightened manner, within the next 10 years, which is what the science is saying we have to do. It doesn't create all of those green jobs that were proposed in the Green New Deal. It is an improvement from how we handle environmental problems now, but low bar. It's a low bar. From the standpoint that you're spending $2 trillion on climate change alone gets you across that threshold. So just a little disappointed in the results. I mean, I feel like they got a bigger concession from the Hillary campaign than they did from Biden. And he probably thinks he doesn't need it. He probably thinks he can win it since Trump's poll numbers are so abysmal right now. He probably figures he doesn't even really need that progressive wing, which at this point, he may be right. He may be right. From everything from the protests to the coronavirus and our response to that, and how even now it's still on a downward slope for us, it doesn't look good for Trump. And so that may lead to Biden not feeling obligated to push as hard on some of these issues. So just a little bit of disappointment surrounding the results of that coalition, because it didn't really.
But what about the young black voters that are going to vote for Kanye?
Yeah, I hated that. Like I hated that shit. Like the fact that we were even sitting up here having that conversation. Oh well, Kanye's doing that to help Trump. But I was like, okay, but I thought Kanye was a Trump lover. So then wouldn't that mean that the people who love Kanye also love Trump, and then that Kanye would be pulling votes away from Trump? I'm confused. So Kanye loves Trump, but then if he runs, he's going to be pulling away votes from Biden.
Makes
because
sense.
all young black voters both like Kanye West and vote Democrat. They go right hand in hand. One big ass lie, people. Don't ever forget it.
That shit is stupid.
Yeah, I'm out.
Well, it's been another great episode with you, homeboys. Any other thoughts? Any other topics? Anything else?
Toss-ups. I want to give a shout out to everybody who listened to our not the Manic Phase interview.
The Manic Phase interview.
But the Manic Phase interview as well. Thank you for supporting that. The episode before the Manic Phase episode, so that was probably like 28, maybe.
Yeah. Episode 28. We're at episode 30 now. So yeah, episode 28.
With our most viewership so far on YouTube, I think
123 views.
143 views.
23.
123. You could have left it at give us a little boost. But yeah, we appreciate the love, absolutely. First time breaking that threshold, so we definitely apologize. We appreciate all the love. Keep sharing, liking, supporting. We'll keep bringing you all the information.
But also shout out to those who did watch the Manic Phase interview. That is now our second most viewed video at 69 views. So shout out to Manic Phase. Shout out to his fan base who came and supported. Shout out to everybody who watched the video, liked it, all that stuff. So shout out to y'all, man.
Absolutely.
Shout out to our SoundCloud listeners. Shout out to our Spotify listeners, our Anchor listeners. All of y'all, man.
Apple Podcast. Shout out to my moms, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact,
my
brother.
Mom.
Nah, shout out my oldest brother, Ott, man. He was asking about it, and he caught some wind. Said he wanted to be a part of the entanglement conversation.
Ooh.
Yeah,
shout
so
out
he
to
said
the homeboy in your Facebook comments that keep saying we don't talk about stuff long enough.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Melly Mel, that's you right there, man.
We'll try to make it longer for you, Mel.
You know what I mean? We're trying. With all that being said, song of the week. Shout out to Freshie from Cleveland. It was one of Tone's stories that put me onto this dude. But talented dude. He's got an album coming out this Friday. He's doing a promotional party in Cleveland. So if you are in Cleveland, check it out. This is Monopoly by Freshie. And on that note, we are out.
Dirty. Ha. Yeah. I play with that money, but this ain't no damn Monopoly. Benz all in my pocket, yeah, I gotta keep a lot with me. You can't hop up in my car if you not gon' ride with me. Diamonds shining in the dark, Gunner started blinding me. I ain't come here by myself, nigga, I got the squad with me. I stayed on the dick just like a whip, she started driving me. Shorty know I'm from the bottom, so she started topping me. I do what I wanna do, I bet you knew that obviously. I just spent the ticket on my watch, can't spend no time with me. I be outside, traffic light, but ain't no stopping me. 5% tint on my windows, I need privacy. Kiss me on your block, work it out, that's like a job to me. I'm a healthy kid, really, I be smoking broccoli. I ain't even on TV, but these niggas, they still watching me. Bitch, I'm with my gang, and we post it on your property. Walked straight in the front, then I walked out with the back end. I'm not talking movers, but Lil' Freshie brought that pack in. Number 9 my jeans, but I might pull up with a Mac 10. Trapping off this touchscreen, told that boy to tap in. Ran that on his nose, now that boy he look like Rudolph. I just want a Tesla, chop the motherfucking roof off. It's a lethal weapon, watch that motherfucker shoot off. You know we moving packages like a motherfucking U-Haul. Yeah, I play with that money, but this ain't no damn monopoly. Bands all in my pocket, yeah, I gotta keep a lot with me. You can't hop up in my car if you not gon' ride with me. Diamonds shining in the dark, then it started blinding me. I ain't come here by myself, nigga, I got the squad with me. Hot straight on the dick just like a whip, she started driving me. Shorty know I'm from the bottom, so she started topping me.